Yes. You see, you and I both want the same thing. We have the same goal. That means it's in my best interest to continue to protect and keep you safe as well. Even now.
I'm not sure how much protecting I'll need either, but I appreciate the thought. I'm sure you'll do us proud, Kisara.
Right. You can all count on me.
What was Kelzelik even after in the end?
Isn't it obvious? Clearly he wanted the throne for himself, and was gonna have his goons execute Dohalim to get it.
He had to have known he couldn't hope to defeat a lord. He should have run while he had the chance, instead of holding himself up in the palace.
Maybe he thought he couldn't run? Either way, the outcome's the same.
So he got desperate and decided to go for broke?
One might argue that he was another victim of mine, in a sense.
Huh?
There is no greater calling in life to a Renin than the crown contest, yet I refused to take part. The shock he felt at that must have been truly immense. Enough to drive him to revolt, even though doing so meant defying Renin hierarchy.
I know I've said this before, but Dahnans and Renins wouldn't coexist here if it wasn't for your stance.
But that was no lofty idealism on my part, nor do I feel any pride at what occurred.
Spare us the pity party. You literally just joined us to uphold those ideals.
Shion?
No, she is absolutely correct. I shall speak no more of my misgivings. Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
I just noticed none of you other Dahnans have spirit cores. Why is that?
Both of my parents were part of the resistance in Calaglia. In fact, my birth was kept a secret from the Renins.
Mine too. We always lived in hiding, so I never had a spirit core embedded in me like I was supposed to.
What about you, Alphen? You were a slave in Calaglia before all this, weren't you?
To be completely honest, I'm not sure why I don't have one. All the other Dahnan slaves around me did. I was the only exception. They tended to keep their distance from me to avoid attracting any attention from the soldiers, because of my mask and all. What about you, Kisara? Do you still have your spirit core?
No. I was able to find a good Renin doctor who's sympathetic to our kind, and had them remove it before I left. They did such a great job, the procedure didn't even leave a scar.
One of the benefits of coexistence, huh?
I know that once the spirit vessel was shut down, there wasn't much need for me to hurry. But still, I didn't like having that mark of servitude lingering on me any longer than I had to. It may sound a little strange to hear me say this, but I'm just me now. Not a guardsman or a slave. I'm my own woman, and this is my chance to have a new beginning.
This sure is one rugged road. You'd think they'd keep this at least a little better maintained, right?
Why spend energy fixing that which is rarely used? Repairs require time and effort, which in our world means slaves, often in great numbers. For you, it may be a simple request, but that can quickly become another's difficult burden. Nobody gains anything without someone expending effort.
And you know, somehow that someone always ends up being a Dahnan, while the Renins are the ones who gain.
True enough. Ideally, in a perfect world, I think it's only fair that the ones who need it should be the ones to perform the work.
However, when doing so could be dangerous like it is here, there are many who would prefer that it be others who risk their lives in their stead.
So, what you're saying is that people will just put up with the inconvenience until someone else comes along to fix it for them?
Indeed. And it is those who can no longer bear that feeling that inevitably take action. Much like the Dahnans in our group do so now. As strange as it may be to hear such a thing from the likes of myself.
It's true that most of the Dahnans in Calaglia have been resigned to just accepting things as they are. Still, we can't just blame them for...
What are you making that face for? You're not worn out already, are you?
Nah, just regretting I ever said anything in the first place.
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade! See that? That training's paying off! We got fired!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle.
Looks like it could be worth something.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Swallow Blade! Okay, here I go!
I'm sorry to be a bother.
I'm so good with Air Force targets.
Yes, ma'am!
Do it!
I'll finish you in an instant! Impact Cross!
To achieve such harmony.
Takes a singular will.
All right.
There's nowhere to run from my heart. When he slows down, that's our chance.
Leave the agile ones to me.
Prepare to be sealed. Rising Wyvern! Stardust! Mirage! Try this! Infernal Torrent!
Prepare to be seized, though.
Swallow Blade!
Actually, perhaps bound is more appropriate.
Let's talk some more
Prepare
doing.
to be sealed.
Can't get out of this!
Swallow Blade! Slash! Prepare to be blade! Infernal Torrent! Rising Wyvern! Can you take it? Slash! Frickin' does it! Swallow Blade! I'm on it! Stardust! Prepare to be sealed!
I'm all done.
Mirage! I'm on it! I'll run you through! Infernal Torrent! Rising Wyvern!
Dust to
Mirage!
by the power of one.
Try this! Elusive Infernal Torrent! Prepare to be sealed! Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
Got some interesting moves there, Dohalim. I'm glad you're on our side.
I'm simply glad to hear that I can make myself useful to you all. Huh?
What's wrong?
We seem to have come across some rather unusual objects.
What, you mean that pile of garbage?
No mere garbage, I assure you. Still, I've never seen anything shaped like it before. I'm intrigued.
Are you curious about this stuff, Rinwell?
Yeah. I think he might have found some old Dahnan relics. They look like the remains of a bunch of objects that disappeared after the Renans first invaded.
And yet here I am, holding them without so much as a second thought. I imagine the sight must be unsettling to you.
Not really, just that it must be nice to be a Renan who has time to indulge in stuff like that, unlike the rest of us.
Are you interested in this stuff too, Dohalim?
Charmed may be a better turn of phrase. I simply love objects that can give me a sense of what their maker was thinking, the history that went into their creation. You see, we Renans have hardly any such objects that trace back to our distant past.
I still don't understand what you two find so intriguing about it, though.
Why not? We're talking about our own culture here.
I get that, but it's not like this stuff is any use now, does it? It's just old. Real old.
Oh, but it does. Holding it in your hands like this, one can feel and engage with the distant past in a way no history book can ever accomplish.
I'll take your word for it. Well, seeing as it's Danan history, just make sure you're careful with it. All right, Dohalim?
But of course.
I sense a strange power from this.
A hard-won victory.
Visibility along this path will remain limited for some time. Take care not to get ambushed.
I'm surprised you know the terrain here so well. Lords don't strike me as having much time for wandering in the woods.
Sometimes I would take strolls along here when I wished to be alone.
You always did have a bad habit of disappearing without telling any of us guardsmen.
Don't get careless!
Swallow blade!
Don't tell me!
Rising Viper!
I shall ensure you survive this.
Swallow blade!
It's a duel of the arts!
Rising Viper!
Flying spree? Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
We got the
You
advantage.
picked the wrong good.
Just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry, because Raw's
Swallow
on.
blade! Rising Viper! Stardust!
The enemy wields armor too.
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Right, next one!
Already on it.
Where are you going?
Swallow blade!
Glimmer Dragon!
Try this! Infernal
Hear
Torrent!
my call!
Rising Viper!
Do it!
Shield!
This one's got your name on it!
To action! We can really make weapons with this?
I have a bad feeling about this.
Resonate with the earth! Infernal Torrent! Rising Viper! Rising Phoenix! Rising Viper! Now! Soaring Light Spear! Swallow Blade! Try this!
I'm only
Infernal
getting
Torrent!
This!
Lightning!
Slash!
Back into the fray!
Swallow Blade!
Resonate with the earth!
Rising Viper!
Ready to go!
You're going pretty hard in this battle.
I am not usually given to restraint.
Sometimes I believe
In an instant! Impact Claw! We work well together.
Like a finely timed waltz.
Rising Viper!
Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
I won't rest until I'm the best I can be.
Still striving to be on par with the Lord?
You simply can't be too strong when battle is a part of your everyday.
It's so hilly around here. I can feel my feet getting blisters.
That's mountain hiking for you. It can be pretty tough if you're not used to these sorts of trails.
I take it you're comfortable with them then?
Out of our way!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Rising Phoenix! Rising Wyvern!
Leave the enemy arms to me!
No place here!
Where are you going? Coming through! Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
This one's all mine! Swallow Blade! Burn!
Begin! Now in the group!
Far enough! Do it! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble! This should come in handy when crafting weapons.
Don't get careless!
Swallow Blade!
Don't tell me!
Infernal Torrent! Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
No further!
Infernal Torrent! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Swallow Blade!
Resonate with the earth!
Infernal Torrent! Rolling! In an instant! Impact Claw! I can feel my power growing!
We should think about eating soon.
Really? Not all that...
Swallow blade!
I can carve through armor! Hey, when did I get so popular?
Rising Wyvern! Rising Phoenix!
Benediction
Ready!
light.
It's like trying to keep up with a wall! Not on my watch! Reload!
It's on! Eat dirt!
Swallow dance! This one's mine!
Swallow blade! Rise up!
Chronotop field!
Swallow blade!
Legion snow.
Denied!
Yeah, I'm ready!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Glacial spear! Here's the evil!
Infernal turret!
Freeze blade! Hurricane!
I'll finish you here! You see what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
Infernal turret!
There!
Rising Wyvern!
Do it!
You're off! Doubling! In an instant! Impact block!
So I still had room to grow.
I found some equipment.
Let me take a look at...
More Danon ruins here too, I see.
What were people even thinking back then? Trying to build anything around here.
Maybe they just had that much time and energy on their hands.
What's this thing?
Looks like trouble with Captain King.
Together, we've got this! Swallow blade! You're mine!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you want to get toasty!
Burn strike!
Searing flame!
Swallow blade has to be seen! You're on!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. Sure, I've built up a sweat with this hike.
Rest assured, we have reached the top. It's all downhill from here, quite literally.
So, Mahag Sar's just up ahead then?
Indeed. If you look, across this mountain is the Lord's Keep.
There.
What's this place here? Some kind of old house?
Let's dispose of the trash.
Can't get out of this! Infernal turret! Swallow hurricane! Leave the charge for me! You're far enough! Rising Wyvern! Start a... You're on! Hurricane! I'm ready!
We're thinning them out.
More like me.
I'll admit I'm impressed. Very slightly.
Corruption!
Swallow blade!
Do it!
Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclops!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
won't forgive you!
I'm like bait to them.
Rising Wyvern! Rising Phoenix! First strike! Swallow Blade! Resonate with the earth! Start
Don't mind if I do!
I'm on a roll! I can carve through one! Swallow Blade!
We got the advantage.
Good. Now we just have to make sure we keep it.
Don't worry, because Raw's on.
Tornado Drive!
Nothing gets by.
I'm ready!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished. That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out. Denied!
Okay,
Here I go!
So fine, not too long.
did you just hear me?
Yes, I need you, remember?
Right.
Rising Wyvern!
Where are you going?
Mirage! Prepare to be sealed! Swallow Blade!
Take it!
This one's all mine! Eat this!
Deity! I'll thank you.
I'm ready!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished. With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
coming through.
Swallow Blade! They got me! Portal Turret! Strike! Dragon to Deity! Swallow Blade! Unlock! Infernal Turret!
Corruption!
Swallow Blade! Strike!
Not in your dreams!
Strike! Begin! I can carve through
Well,
walls!
we're on the home stretch now.
Don't take your eyes off the prize.
That's my cue!
Shut him.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
See you continue on in that vein.
Yes, my lady?
Something you wanted to say?
Elusive Deity! Next! Rising Wyvern! Eat
There's always room for improvement.
Through these lands most verdant green, my eyes alight for sights unseen. In Menancia, pure and pristine.
What is it you see exactly?
That's not for me to say. Discourteous, aren't you?
Swallow Blade! Ignite! Fly! Swallow Blade! Infernal Turret! Rising Wyvern!
Where are you going? Do it!
Take the... Slash!
Hear my call!
Infernal Turret!
Glacial Spear!
Swallow Blade! Do it!
Mars, get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Right, next one!
Already on! Rising Wyvern!
Do it!
Phoenix!
This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
I can feel my precision improving.
Guess I misread the land.
Brace yourselves! This one's tough!
Ready, go on! Not on my watch!
Crush!
Dragon Shell! Ready and ready!
Swallow Blade! I can carve through armor! You picked the
I
wrong
never
fight!
miss!
I'm on it! I'm ready! Get on!
Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Right, next one!
Slide! Already on! Burn up!
Here's the evil!
Dragon Rising Wyvern! You're on! Swallow Blade!
Do
You
it!
made quick work of us.
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Just pointing it out.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Do it!
I still got a ways to go.
Get lost! I never miss!
Rising Wyvern!
No further.
First strike! Mirage! Hit on! Swallow Blade! Not today!
Kitara! Go for it!
Prepare to crumble!
Lightning!
Swallow Blade! Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
Arch Field! Don't mind if I do.
Hey! Blow them away!
How's that?
Swallow Blade!
Attack
time!
Nothing gets by here! Far enough!
Swallow Blade! Swallow Blade! Rising Wyvern!
I thought you were going to wreck the place. I'm not nearly finished yet. Then I'll provide assistance however I can.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Swallow Blade!
Am I... on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. There.
This one will be difficult to predict.
Let the mark stand!
Swallow Blade! Elusive deity!
Can you take it?
Do it!
Swallow Blade!
Get toasty!
Burn Strike!
Right, next one!
Rising Wyvern!
Already on.
Swallow Blade!
I'm ready.
Hey! Blow them away!
Water, hear my call!
Strike with the earth! The last one!
Here's evil!
Swallow blade! Slash! Prepare to be seen! Slash! Take this! Swallow blade! Slash! Swallow blade!
Looks like we got them all.
What's that big tower over there?
I hate camping out.
You can never be too prepared. But did we have to spend so much?
I can't eat anymore.
That was nothing.
Dohalim, care if I hang out for a while? You worried about what's going on with Menancia?
What makes you think that?
Well, you were speaking to Kisara earlier, weren't you?
It's rude to listen in on others, you know.
Sorry. I didn't hear what you two were actually talking about, though. I just figured it was Menancia since it was the two of you.
I am but a former lord who has abandoned his post. I'm no longer in a position to lead the realm in any capacity whatsoever. Yet Kisara still seeks out my opinions, knowing full well that is the case. This despite the fact I am no longer her master either.
Couldn't it be precisely because you're not her master anymore? It's natural for friends to want to hear each other's opinions.
I hadn't considered that possibility.
It's funny what you miss sometimes.
Hardly uncommon among artistic types such as myself. When lordships are decided based solely on one's astral energy, it can lead to funny results.
But even so, you still took your job as lord seriously, didn't you?
Certainly. I learned to perform my functions. However, I was less interested in ruling, so much as avoiding life and death decisions. Of course, such a mentality in the end led only to sickening pain and death taking place elsewhere out of sight. I pretended not to see or hear any of it, content to let our supposed peace and equality keep me blind and deaf to reality. I was a fool.
But you're making amends.
I would like to think so. The path ahead is dark, yet I still walk on. I merely pray that I shan't fall down any holes along the way. Do you mind watching our camp tonight?
Sorry, postman came.
Shall we get moving?
Not this way, I guess. 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 Not this way, I guess.
I'm like bait to them. Now you see what I can do. Burn! Glacial Shield. Swallow Blade. Do it! Go for it! Prepare to crumble. Swallow Blade. The enemy deals ours too.
You'll soon see about that.
I'm not. Turbo Demon Fang.
Reload!
Rising Wyvern.
Do it!
More! I'll stop your movement!
And I'll stop your life!
So I still had room to grow.
Still thinking about how to act around Dohalim?
That obvious, huh? Except I don't think I'll be changing much after all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to stay his servant. However, I am going to treat him like a fellow comrade, the same way I would with you or anyone else. For as long as I can remember, I've spent my life protecting others. But isn't that what friends do too? Support and protect one another in times of need?
Which in the end pretty much means doing as you've always done, right? If that's what you're most comfortable with, I'm certainly not going to give you any grief over it.
Actually, I've been thinking about how I ought to act around you all as well.
Oh?
When I set out on this journey, it was to rid Elde Menancia of its enemies, and search for wisdom in the outside world. Wisdom that I could potentially put to use on my return. I'm grateful to you all for letting me tag along. But it got me thinking, what am I actually contributing by being here?
What are you talking about? You know how to hold a weapon, don't you? That's help enough.
Is it though? Sometimes I wish there was more I could be doing to pull my...
Oops, sorry about that. Jeez, I'm famished.
Now that you mention it, what do you guys normally do for food and meals when you're out and about on your travels?
What do you mean, what do? We find stuff to eat and eat it. So long as it's meat, I'm not fussy.
Eating what you like can be good for morale in the short term, but you need to think about your diet if you want to stay healthy.
Does that mean eating vegetables too?
Isn't that obvious?
It does, which I guess hasn't been happening up till now.
Yeah, to be honest, we could be eating better than we do.
Understood. In that case, I'll just have to make sure you're all staying healthy and eating right myself. Fortunately, I happen to know a thing or two about cooking as well.
You hear that, Law? Sounds like you'll be eating your greens after all.
What is it?
No, sorry, it's just... I was just wondering if you had any thoughts on all this.
It will do her good to have a project.
No, not Kisara. I meant you. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Me? Certainly you're not looking to me for culinary skill, I hope.
Typical Renan. Leaving everything to someone else.
Rinwell, I don't think...
That said, should you need my skills on the battlefield, please rest assured I have no intention of shirking my responsibilities, regardless of who we may face.
I'm sure no one doubts that. Listen, guys, if we're traveling together, we should probably at least try to make an effort to get to know one another, don't you think?
I wouldn't get your expectations too high in that regard. Believe it or not, sometimes I'm not sure I even know myself all that well.
Hey, let's stop for a minute.
What's up? You already tired?
My armor's pretty heavy. I think I need a little rest.
I second that. All of this walking is starting to take its toll on me as well.
What? You don't look it.
We can't spare the time. There's places we need to be. Mahag Saar's capital, Niez, is our destination right now.
But if one of us collapses, it will only serve to slow us down. And in your case, Alphen is the only one who could carry you. Best to rest while you have the opportunity.
Enough already. I need a break, so we're taking one.
I don't need you fretting over me.
Fretting? Hey, it's not like I'm...
Been looking for you.
For me, why?
He's tough.
Who are you? Said you were looking for me. Why?
Beautiful, precious life.
What the...
That is all I desire.
Then why are we fighting? Who even are you?
Let them handle this.
Rising Wyvern! Rising Phoenix!
Resonate with the earth! Fierce evil! Tail! Freeze Lancer! Don't mind if I do!
Who the hell are you? Bastard!
This guy's not normal!
His speed is unbelievable.
You mean he even surpasses a lord?
Deny! Take what a release! Swallow Blade! Take it! Away!
Enjoy.
Eat this! Try this! Infernal Torrent!
Take this. Why'd you heal me?
Swallow Blade! Thank you! Infernal Torrent! Swallow Blade! Fall! Strike! This one's all mine! Die! Ignite! Slide!
Enjoy.
Down!
Healing!
Is that all that you've got? Very well. Then die. A wretch like you? Till next time.
Shion, wake up, please!
Alphen?
Shion!
Thanks, but you're kinda crushing me.
Sorry.
It's okay. And so am I. It's not as bad as it looks.
Not bad. That's... Shion, we thought
I'm
you were...
fine. Really.
What the hell were you thinking?
Well, you were trying to protect me too, you know.
Yeah, but I have the sword. It's different.
It's not different. Besides,
Hmm?
Never mind. It's nothing. Anyway, thank you.
But I didn't... Look, I'm just glad that you're...
Alphen?
Sorry.
That guy said he'd be back. I think maybe we should get moving before he returns, right?
Rinwell has a good point. We need to go. Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Shion, are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I already applied some healing arts to it. It didn't even leave a scar.
But his sword went nearly straight through you.
I'm all right. Unless I've turned into some kind of ghost and I'm haunting you all right now.
No, I know you're not. It's just...
Look, I appreciate you looking out for me, but I'm fine. Really.
There was also that strange light that appeared when Shion was stabbed. It seemed to make the enemy retreat when he saw it. Alphen, do you have any idea what it might have been?
A light? I don't know. I was kind of preoccupied with other things at the time.
Now that I think of it, between that light and the blazing sword, just what sort of person are you, Alphen? Can you use Dahnan astral arts like Rinwell, perhaps?
He wouldn't know, Dohalim. He doesn't have any memories from his past, remember? Besides, we should really be getting out of here.
I suppose you're right. Forgive me. We've almost reached Nias, the capital of Mahag Saar. With any luck, we'll find a place there for Shion to rest. Hey.
Are we in the right place? This place looks like a mess.
Yes, this is Niez, the capital of Mahag Sar.
I don't see any signs of people. And the buildings.
Yeah. This doesn't seem like the kind of place people would actually live.
No soldiers, no Danans, not a soul to be seen. Yet look at these facades. This is clearly a Renan district.
Hey, check out that drawing on the castle gate. That's the Darkwing's crest. It's from an old Danan legend about a hero who defeated an evil king with a torch and their trusty owl. That's his crest. I'm sure of it.
Really? First time I'm hearing it. So if someone drew it on the gate...
It must mean the Renans have lost control of the city.
Are you suggesting the Danans rose up and defeated the Lord here? Hard to believe, but not entirely unthinkable, given the evidence.
Let's look around and see if we can find someone. They might be able to tell us what happened. This is...
All of these ruins look like they were made pretty recently.
But if that's the case, then where do you think the people that used to live here went off to? There must have been Danans and Renans, right?
That's a good question. Even if the Danans rebelled and managed to overthrow the Renans here, there should still be some people around.
This debris... Do you think it could be the work of Renan astral arts?
Perhaps, but the appearance of these ruins is rather uniform, which leads me to believe otherwise.
Hey, Rinwell. That story you told us about the Dark Wings. It said that the evil king was vanquished with a holy flame, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Then there might be some truth to that old story after all. It looks like all the rubble here had been scarred by flames.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. If we can find someone around here, we might be able to get them to tell us what happened.
Maybe something's going on in the forest.
What are those out in the valley? Windmills? They're huge.
They're most likely used to harvest wind astral energy, so they have to be big.
Dohalim, you forgot to take care of the fire yesterday.
What do you mean, take care of? Ah, yes. You meant to put it out?
Yep. If it stays lit, we could end up in real trouble real fast.
I see. I apologize for not realizing that. I shall be more careful in the future.
The way he's talking, it's like the thought of putting it out himself never even occurred to him.
Moving on, Dohalim, I should mention that the clasp for your cape is about to come undone.
Oh yes, I tried to fix that myself, but it simply refused to cooperate with me.
I can't believe I'm hearing this. Are you telling me Renans can't even dress themselves?
Lords like Dohalim have attendants that take care of just about everything they need, so I'm not surprised he sometimes struggles with the basics.
Even by those standards, you've got to admit this is still a little extreme.
Shionna's got a point. I mean, you don't see Renans like her needing so much help to get stuff done.
In my case, circumstances forced me to learn how to be independent. Even so, I still think Dohalim could afford to pick up a few more self-sufficient skills.
Well, specifically speaking, what would you suggest that I learn?
For starters, I think it'd be good for you to learn how to dress. And put on shoes. How to comb your hair is equally important. And learning to manage your possessions better. And then from there...
She sounds like his mom rattling all that off.
Oh, and another thing. About your owl, Rinwell.
What is it?
When he starts to molt, would you be willing to give me his old feathers? I think I could find a use for them.
What do you intend to do with those?
Well, recently, I haven't been sleeping well. However, I hear pillows made from owl feathers are very comfortable and wish to make one.
This is why I hate you, Renans!
Did I say something offensive?
Next time, put your own needs aside for a second and think about how someone might react first. Then consider if it's worth asking at all.
Something wrong? You look like you're deep in thought.
Not exactly. I was merely thinking about you two and your sense of etiquette.
Oh?
Etiquette?
Indeed. To be quite frank, I find your lack of manners to be nigh intolerable.
That's not being frank, that's being and forget it. Do we really need to talk about this now?
Yes. I find such impropriety on your parts to be deeply unsettling. It concerns me greatly.
What do you want us to do? We were slaves. We never got to learn how to be proper like you.
Yeah, what he said. Maybe you missed how we were just focused on surviving.
Perhaps, but Kisara here demonstrates that it's quite possible for a Denon to learn proper manners.
That's because I was given the opportunity to learn. Moreover, my duties as a guardsman required it. Not every realm is like Menancia, as you well know.
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to hold us to some other city standards.
Exactly. You've got to remember what it's been like for us living under the Rena elsewhere.
I will concede that you do indeed make a valid point. It would appear, for all my espousing the virtues of equality between our peoples, I was still looking down on the two of you.
You don't need to beat yourself up. I wasn't that offended by what you said, man.
Nevertheless, I shall mind my words from here on out. Having said that, I do believe you two would still benefit from learning the basics of proper society. I would be more than happy to teach you both when we camp out, if you like.
Yeah, no, I'll pass. Acting all prim and proper isn't really my style.
If you say so. How about you, Law? Would you like to learn? Although I suppose my first task is to reform your attitude toward the idea of good etiquette.
You're not gonna let this go, are you?
How are you holding up after that last fight? You're not too hurt, are you?
I'm fine, really. See for yourself.
If things get too tough out there, go ahead and fall back. I can take a beating if I need to.
I'm not here just to stand around and have everyone protect me.
I get that, but there's nothing wrong with admitting you have weaknesses too.
Do I look like I'm just trying to put on a brave face to you?
I can't feel pain. But you still can, can't you?
Look, I appreciate you're trying to look out for me, but even you go down in fights from time to time. Please, stop trying to babysit me. It's getting old.
It's not that. I just...
All of you, stop right there! Don't move!
They have us surrounded.
Who are you? Where did you come from?
You first! Show yourself!
I'm the one asking the questions here. Don't try anything funny. One wrong move, and I guarantee we'll blow you away.
What are you...
My name is Alphen. I came here from Calaglia.
Alphen? The wielder of the blazing sword?
Getting pretty famous, isn't he?
Here is my proof. Will that suffice? Or do I have to burn down one of those houses to make my point?
No need. I believe you. I'm Beifong, of the Darkwings. Sorry for threatening to blow you away. We're still hunting down the remnants of the enemy forces, so everyone's more than a bit on edge right now. Please forgive me.
Remaining? Wait, you mean you already took down the Lord of this realm?
That's right. We took her weapons and turned them right back on her.
Are you the Dahnan leader here in Niez?
Nah, I'm just one of the commanders. Deadeye's the one who runs the show. I'd be happy to take you to him. Just one problem. The Renans. Seems the rumors you were running with them were true. You do understand, right? I mean, we only just liberated the city from their kind. Everyone's short on trust. And for good reason. Especially Deadeye. I think it'd be best if those two waited outside.
Not going to happen.
I don't think it's a good idea for us to split up. It's too dangerous.
Then it's on your head, friend. Our base is that way.
You could have left me behind, you know.
This isn't just about you, Dohalim.
Ah, yes.
I guess even after you beat the Renans, your work's only really just begun, huh?
Yeah. This place seems like it's got a lot of issues to fix. Not this way, I guess.
So you're Alphen, are ya? Thought you'd be bigger. Huh. Guess the armor beefs you up a bit. You've got a lot of people talking, you know. But in this town, I call the shots. You play by my rules here. Just remember that. Gotta say, I didn't expect you to run with a gang of women and kids. Those other lords must have been real pushovers, huh?
Seriously? Are you this rude to everyone you meet?
Don't interrupt me, you brat. Didn't your parents teach you any manners?
Why, you?
So you're the one who took down the Lord of this realm, huh? How'd you pull that off?
We just swiped the Renan's explosives. And then we blasted them all to hell and back.
Explosives? That's a pretty bold approach. But how'd you manage to avoid hurting your own people?
I didn't, that's how. But the chance to take out a Lord was worth the sacrifice.
And the Lord? What did this sacrifice earn you?
Unfortunately, we couldn't manage to finish her off. But now we've really got the girl on the run.
She ran? A Lord?
Yeah, the lady was just a coward. She had a whole lot more bark than bite, that's for sure. She's probably hiding off in a hole somewhere. But not for long. We'll find her and drag her right back into town. Then she'll get what's coming to her.
I wouldn't be so sure. She may run, but she'll never go quiet.
Shut up, Bright Eyes! I would have run you through already if you weren't with the blazing sword here.
The whole reason you're fighting is to free the Danans in this realm, is it not? If
Shut
so,
your
then—
mouth, witch! That's enough! If you're really fighting for us Danans, why keep these bastards around? Why haven't you killed them already?
I'm not going to kill these bastards.
Whoa. Is that the case, huh? Then tell me the point of the show.
They're my friends.
Friends? Renans are Renans. The scum-sucking bastards who've been draining our souls for 300 years now! But you knew that. Maybe it's 'cause you and the little lady are friends and more.
Son of a... You'll pay for that!
That's enough! Deadeye, you know that was completely uncalled for.
All of you, get the hell out of my realm! And don't ever come back! This is Danan's realm and it's ours, understand? I call the shots here. And I make the rules. I do, Deadeye, leader of the Dark Wings!
Yeah! Deadeye! Liberator Deadeye! You are the true leader of this realm! We're not afraid of any Bright Eyes!
It's only a matter of time before I throw every last Bright Eye out of this realm!
The Dark Wings! The Dark Wings rule!
Hey, wait up! Told you so, didn't I? You should have left your Renan pals outside.
You don't agree with him, do you? I could tell by the look on your face in there.
That's how things are with him. He loses his temper, then I step in and calm things down.
Better you than me.
If that's all, I think it's past time we were going.
Look, I just wanted to apologize for what Deadeye said in there.
At least somebody's got some manners around here.
He didn't used to be like that. But, well, that's what losing most of your loved ones will do to a man. He may never forgive the Renans.
It's a little ironic how indistinguishable his manner is to that of a lord.
Hey, Bayfon? Deadeye mentioned the Lord is still on the run. Any ideas where she might be?
We looked all over, but found no traces of her. We heard some rumblings about activity in Estaluva Forest, but that's it.
Estaluva, huh?
Wait, you're not going after her, are you? Certainly won't win you any favors with Deadeye.
This isn't Deadeye's war, and we're certainly not fighting it for him. Besides, it's like Shion said, her type isn't going to go quietly.
Hey, it's your funeral. Don't say I didn't warn you.
We'll be sure to keep you out of it. Before we set out, though, is there anywhere around here we can rest?
Sure. Building at the end of the road, opposite side. It's all yours. We use it as temporary lodging, to house people who don't have a new place to live quite yet.
We're not going to run into any trouble there, are we?
Rumors of a certain fiery sword have spread fast. I doubt anyone will be eager to give you guys problems. And here's where I say my farewell. You're on your own, but good hunting.
Before you go, how come you don't hate the Renans as well?
Oh, believe me, I've got my bone to pick with the Renans. Just not with two of them I've never so much as laid eyes on before.
Let's head on over to that lodge. We'll figure out what our next move is there. Not this way, I guess.
I get the feeling Deadeye signed up to be a rebel, so he could have a roost to rule. Heck, he's no better than a lord. In some ways, he's even worse.
I know. How could he use explosives on his own people?
And yet, despite the toll of his actions, none of the Dahnans we've seen seem to question his assumed authority in the least. If anything, they may well consider him a hero, which would say a great deal toward how deeply they resented the Renans here.
Still, I don't think this is as simple as saying the good guys won out over the bad ones.
Yeah, I don't either. Deadeye might have managed to drive the Renans out of Niez, but that doesn't make the way he did it okay. No matter which way you look at it.
A victory that's earned by throwing away the lives of his own people? No, that isn't a victory at all. I can understand that the Dahnans here are standing up against their oppression, but that doesn't mean they have to humiliate all Renans just to settle the score.
I'm perfectly able to stand up for myself, Alphen. Besides, I'm used to it by...
But you shouldn't have to be, Shion. That's just... What I mean to say is, when you've been a slave for so long, it's easy to accept that's how it should be because it's all you've ever known. Constantly being belittled is no different. I don't think that's fair. For me or for you.
I just don't know, man.
Don't know what?
Deadeye managed to drive out a real live Renan lord. That's incredible. And he seems to have a lot of supporters surrounding him, too. But he's got an attitude worse than any angry Zeugle. Plus, Niez is in utter ruins. I don't have a clue what his game is.
The Renans are powerful. And because of that, it takes a strong leader to have any hope of toppling them. However, when you take down one dictator only to replace them with another, ultimately it's just business as usual.
If it'd been Zephyr instead of Deadeye, I don't think things would have turned out like this.
Rinwell!
Yeah, I think so too. Zephyr did things differently top to bottom. He's not the kind of person who would have forced his own views or decisions on other people. When you do that, you're ruling over others, not leading them.
To be honest, I don't know what I would have wanted my dad to do if he was in that position.
Law.
The whole thing feels weird in a way. It's a weird kind of feeling, but at the same time, part of me also feels happy? Deadeye and my dad are two very different men. For now, I'm content knowing that.
The city is liberated, and yet the air still hums with fear and anxiety. It reminds me all too well of how Vicente once was.
Hums? You mean like music?
Yeah, none of this sounds like music to my ears. In fact, I've never seen any Dahnans with musical instruments in my life.
You don't need instruments to play music. It can emerge naturally from the sounds of people going about their day and the hustle and bustle of life.
You seem to care a lot about music, Dohalim. I didn't know that about you.
Have I not mentioned it? Before I was a candidate for the lordship, I had my heart set on the life of a musician.
You? A musician?
Indeed, music enriches the world around us. I trained day and night to hone my art. Words could not describe my bliss, as my notes carried with them the sights and sounds of nature, the ebb and flow of time, and the thoughts of people on the wind.
Dohalim.
Forgive me. My loquaciousness can get the best of me at times.
Don't apologize. It's interesting hearing what Renan culture is like.
Even though the Renans destroyed all of our arts and culture.
Personally, I was interested in the music of Dana as well. The fact that generations of lords deemed music to be of no use to their slaves, and outright forbade the ownership of instruments, is lamentable. Not that my words can undo the damage already done.
What's wrong? All right.
What the?
Hmm?
Hey.
Yeah!
Good.
All right!
I wonder if something happened.
Oh, yeah? How's this? Great!
Yes. Hey.
Good.
Really? What?
Yes.
All right. Right.
Really?
What?
Huh?
All right.
Yes!
Over there!
Huh? Yes!
All right.
Yes!
Huh.
All right.
By the by, Xion, if you don't mind my asking, would you be willing to share what sort of clothes are currently in fashion on Rena sometime?
Sure. As long as you call me Captain.
Sir, yes, sir, Captain Xion.
I was just joking. Kinda. It has a nice ring to it, though. Oh.
Hey, it's that ingredient.
Yeah, the one for that recipe.
You always have an eye for food.
That Deadeye creep certainly has a few screws loose, that's for sure.
Forget that guy. Right now, we need to discuss how we're going to proceed.
What's there to discuss? Deadeye and his crew have already brought down the Lord here. Just let them finish her off.
I want to go after her.
I second that. I think it's the best thing to do right now. We don't know if the Darkwings have what it takes to beat her. I'm worried what'll happen if we leave her to her own devices.
You make a good point, Rinwell. And maybe I'm just being overconfident, but between us and them, I think we have a better chance at defeating her.
I have to agree. This realm isn't going to be truly safe as long as that Lord is still running around out there. We need to act.
Fine by me. But isn't Deadeye just gonna take all the credit once we're done?
Our job is to break down the walls that oppress Dana. What he chooses to build in their place, that's his problem. For now, We'll head to this Estaluva forest Bayfon told us about. Whatever we decide to do, though, we should take some time to rest first. Where are you going?
Alphen.
You should get some rest. What's got you up at this hour?
Just let me be for a minute, okay? Why don't you go back to the inn?
I will when you do.
Have it your way.
Shionne. The Lord's days are numbered. I haven't forgotten our promise. You can trust me, you know. Maybe even lean on me a little. If you want.
And if I say I will you finally give it a rest?
Yeah, of course. Try to get some rest, okay?
What was all that about?
So... we're just going to check things out, right? In whatever that forest is called.
Estaluva Forest. Next time, pay attention.
I sense a poor soul who is in dire need.
Sounds like our cue to step in.
Mm-hmm. Well...
I see. Oh.
Just great.
Excuse me!
Good.
That's some cryptic text, all right.
It could mean anything. Can't we just look around the area for clues or something?
Hey! Maybe these are supposed to be different locations?
Oh, now you're into this too, huh? Got sand in my eyes!
The winds are strong here. Mind yourselves.
Ugh,
Oh?
Yes! Very nice.
Is that so? You don't say.
How?
I see.
Hey! Sure.
Nice work.
Oh?
Very nice.
Well?
Yes! What?
What?
I don't believe this!
All right?
No.
Sure.
Really now?
Yes! What?
What?
Very nice. Yes!
Well, that was a huge miscalculation.
Yet you've drained your glass. That's all the same.
The winds outside the capital are blowing as strongly as ever.
You can definitely see why people call this place the Valley of the Four Winds.
Indeed. Mahag Saar is the realm of wind, just as Ganeth Heros is for water.
Earth, water, fire, wind, light, and darkness. Rena is aligned to darkness, leaving each realm one element each.
Is that because some elements are easier to gather in certain areas than others?
That is certainly possible, but I suspect the biggest reason is to prevent the lords from squabbling over resources.
Funny. You would think infighting would come naturally to an elite class vying for a crown.
True, but the Renans rule as a minority. Fighting ourselves would just be destructive. Though, as you saw in Menancia, any abstention from fighting is merely a facade.
In the end, you all get usurped whether you like it or not.
That may be true, but something tells me that this time is different.
We have to catch up to the Lord first if we want answers. Let's keep moving.
Man, I'm famished.
What is that ring of rocks over there for? They don't look like they formed naturally to me.
Oh yeah. Funny, I guess I've gotten used to weird rock formations. They didn't even register as being out of the ordinary.
Most likely, they were brought over by us, Renan.
Wait, those? So does that mean there's some kind of machine then? And
To manipulate the properties of Dana's astral energy.
really?
Think about it. Isn't it strange that the type of energy each realm collects is so fixed? Astral energy by nature isn't meant to skew towards one element or another so heavily.
So the Renans reformed it for the crown contest.
Sounds like the crazy thing a Renan would do.
Renans these days are more advanced than Danans in some ways, but even they don't seem capable of doing something on that grand a scale. Or is that something that's possible on Lenegis? Or maybe the Renan homeworld?
I can't claim to know everything about my own kind, but I myself have never seen anything that would be capable of such a drastic feat.
But at some point they did just that. Those are the sort of people we're up against.
Discourteous, aren't you?
Where are you going?
Rising Wyvern!
I'm only getting started.
Skill reflexes will not serve you well here.
Rising Far enough! Stardust!
You made quick work of them.
Want me to pick up your slack then?
Just pointing it out.
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Less talking, more pummeling.
Cut them apart to your heart's content.
Swallow Blade! Begin! Rising Wyvern!
I thought you were going to wreck the place. I'm not nearly finished yet. Then I'll provide assistance however I can.
Ignite! I'm on elusive flash!
Now I'm in the groove. Now you see what I can do.
I'm ready! Hey! Blow them away!
How's that for a kick? I'm getting better, right?
Quite. I'll be relying on your fancy footwork.
Does fancy footwork mean running away like a chicken?
No!
Somehow, things are even worse outside the city than they are inside.
Yeah, it's all ruined. Houses and everything else.
Even if... It was all in the name of beating the Renans. This is...
think Hootle senses something.
Why didn't the Renans take advantage?
I won't forgive you!
Flush! Infernal Torch! Take it! Rising Wyvern! Deity! Eat this! Mirage!
These ones can run rings around us.
Spear! Pierce evil!
Flush!
Stay calm. I shall provide assistance.
Not on my watch.
Deny! Flush! Rising Wyvern! Damn it! It's too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
The tide of battle has turned to stop you dying.
This one's
Right.
mine.
Flush! Swallow Blade!
Water, hear my call!
Spread!
Your blade moves like a sickle.
I just let my instincts take over.
How fast?
These little ones are hardly worth our time.
Didn't even break a sweat.
I won't forgive you!
Swallow Blade!
Resonate with the earth.
You picked the wrong fight!
Dragon Shell! Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
No further.
Swallow Blade! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Come on, come on! Mirage!
Fine freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Sion, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than
Armor
done.
won't save you!
Swallow Blade! Swallow Dance!
Resonate with the
Rising
earth.
Wyvern!
The tide of battle has turned.
That's the power of comrades in arms.
Right. Comrades in arms. Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Xion.
You're so amazing, Kisara. You can cook, you can fix weapons. I feel like there's practically nothing you can't do.
Maybe you should take a page out of her book and learn to make yourself more useful then.
I'd be happy to teach you if you want, Rinwell. I learned most everything I know from my brother.
Really? Even how to sew and do laundry?
Yes, indeed. He knew how to do anything.
Sounds like he was a pretty handy guy when he was alive.
He was. I'd always follow him around and badger him with questions. I was a real pain in the neck. Now that I think about it, he and Legil were the ones who taught me how to raise cats.
Legil is that woman who was with him in the Gold Dust Cats, right? I remember now. The one with the really pretty hair.
Funny you mention that. He also taught me how to maintain my hair. Not that those lessons stopped it from getting all tangled up during training.
I think it still looks gorgeous.
From what I can tell, it would appear as though the only thing he didn't manage to teach you was how to apply makeup.
No, but that didn't stop him from trying. He really wanted to teach me everything. Only reason he couldn't was because I prioritized my training.
And here I was trying to make a joke.
I can't tell if she's being serious. The only one here who knows him well enough was her.
Yeah, I guess only Miguel could have told us if it's actually true.
Alphen, have you been washing your clothes? It may not be my place to say this, but... frankly, they're starting to stink.
Now that you mention it, it has been a while since I did any laundry.
I'll wash them for you if you want. Just remember to give them to me the next time you get changed.
Oh, okay. Sure. Thanks, Kisara.
And, Law, Rinwell, yours are starting to look a bit ragged.
What do you expect? Of course they're going to tear up when we're out there fighting so much.
Yeah, but it's still kind of embarrassing, having it pointed out like this.
And Xion?
I wouldn't touch me if I were you.
Of course. My apologies. All I wanted to say was that your sleeves are getting a little bit dirty.
You don't need to worry so much, Kisara. It's only natural our clothes are gonna get a little dirty while we're traveling around.
That's no excuse. Your outward appearance says a lot about your inner well-being.
Now you've really set her off.
Suffice to say, it would appear that the traditions of the Guard are still alive and well within her.
What do you mean? What do the guardsmen do that's so special?
Mostly, I'm simply referring to the fact that they're a very regimented and cleanly group of people.
Do I really sound that weird to you guys? Keeping your clothes clean and mended is completely normal to me.
Don't get us wrong. We appreciate...
If you're sure. I wasn't trying to overdo it, I promise. However, if it's making the rest of you tense, I'll do my best to tone it down from here on out. Still, if everyone could bring their laundry and clothes they want fixed, that'd be great. I'll take care of it all for you guys tonight.
Don't you ever get tired?
Retreat if you know what's good for you.
Not in your dreams!
Dragon Shell! Ignite!
Quiver blade! Careful! He has some kind of camouflage!
Rising water! Hurricane! Mirage! Swallow blade!
Lightning!
What's this?
Here's a healing art! First aid!
Snap! Talon Storm! Strike! Slide! Begin! You're mine! Slide! Eternal Devastation! Swallow blade! Tear! Rising water! Burn! Now or never. In a bind? Coming through! Ha! Melt! Scarlet Inferno! Benediction light. Mirage! Crumble! Megasonic Storm! Rising Wyvern! Mirage! Armor won't save you! Leave the charges to me! Resonate with you! Eat this! Swallow blade! Storm! Slash! Florida! This one's all mine! Burn in hell! This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for.
Resonate with you! Got it! I'll leave it to you! Swallow dance! Swallow blade!
Mega ray!
Can you take it? I think I'm coming down with something grave.
A chronic inability to read the runes?
A malady your art cannot fix.
Swallow blade! Try this! The enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that!
Where are you going?
I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough on our hands.
Yes, ma'am.
Rising Wyvern!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
First strike!
Lightning!
Mirage!
Annihilate! Hear me! Flame of fury! Don't mind if I do! Burning
Take this! Swallow! Double Demon Fang!
I'm ready!
Demon's Descent! Flashing Fang!
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
Am I imagining things? Or are there a lot of big Zoogles in this area?
No, I noticed that too. There's plenty of food and water to go around here. For a Zoogle, this just might be paradise.
Great! That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Finally!
What is it?
I found an ingredient for that new recipe.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Gotta break through! Not today!
Eat this! Hurricane! Armor won't save you!
Mirage!
Elusive
It can hide itself?
Amazing!
Spear! Here's evil!
You're mine!
Can you take it?
Take Swallow Blade! You're on!
I'll face you! Come on, a roll!
Rising Wyvern!
Lunar Blast! Back into the fray!
Infernal Torrent! Swallow Blade!
Here's the healing art! Far enough!
You're on!
What a relief!
Swallow Blade! First strike!
Eat this! Swallow Blade!
Where are you going? Here goes!
Light.
Glacier Spear! Here's
Eat
evil!
Suffer in silence!
Rising Wyvern!
Free
You're
Blazer!
on!
Begin!
Hurricane!
Take this!
Rising Wyvern!
Watch this!
So you clamor for my true power?
Swallow Blade!
In a bind?
Strike! Swallow Blade! Try harder! Swallow Blade!
Benediction
Rising
light.
Wyvern!
Eat this!
You're on!
Oh, now you're ready!
Try harder!
Now you see what I can do!
My turn!
Will this
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara!
Eternal Devastation! Catapult! Strike!
Power
Double Demon Fang!
Now!
I have no limits! It's on! Ignite! Soda!
What in the world? Don't worry. I'm all right. I'm still standing.
You're on! You're mine!
Elusive deity!
Soda!
Whirlwind
Hitting
snap!
pile driver!
Hear my call!
You're on!
Leave the enemy's art to me!
No complaint here!
It's in the sky and
Any of
mine!
your movements.
Confiscated!
Swallow Blade!
That's like it does it!
Light.
It's on!
Burning strike!
Too much.
Ignite! Swallow Blade!
Go away! Prepare to be sealed!
Crush! Rising Wyvern! Rising Wyvern! You're on! Swallow Blade! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Everyone's still in one piece? What's this thing?
Coming through.
Annihilation!
Rising Wyvern!
New melody.
That frickin' does it!
Double Demon Fang!
Smash you!
Rising Wyvern!
I can't heal you forever!
Eternal Devastation!
I'm on it! That frickin' does it! Ready to go! I'm on
Negative
board
gate.
Resonate with the earth! Picture of the light! Whirlwind snap!
Slide!
Dragon shit!
Release on life!
Burn!
Field!
Swallow Blade!
Glacier Spear! Not evil dream!
Come and get it! I'll blind you with the dust!
Free Blazer!
You're on!
This one... This one's mine!
Rising Wyvern!
Picture of
You're on!
Order! Hear my call!
elusive deity!
Red!
You're on!
Glacier Spear! Pierce
Swallow
evil!
Blade! Try harder! Rising Wyvern!
Water!
You're
Hear
on!
my call!
Hurricane!
Red!
In a bind?
Can you take it? I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
This has a
Lunar
lot.
Rising Wyvern!
Lunar Blast!
I'm on a roll
You're
now!
on!
Negative gate!
Eat this!
A new lease on life!
Rising Wyvern!
I'll tear you apart!
Can you take it?
Denied!
To everlasting darkness.
Tectonic punch!
Lunar
Negative gate!
correction! Back into the fray!
A charge like that could easily be faded off the field.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Into the shadows!
Eat this!
Not in your dreams!
Glimmer dragon!
Rising Wyvern!
This has a most peculiar taste.
You're on!
Is this it? Forgive me. This is my fault.
Water!
I'll
Hear my
blind you with
call!
the dust!
Red! Glacier... Here's the evil!
Swallow Blade!
This one's mine! Where are you?
Eternal devastation! Take this! Negative gain! Resonate with you?
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Slash! Dragon Swarm!
Swallow
Lightning Wyvern! Begin! Try harder! Shattering of pieces! Attack time!
No! Can't end here! I couldn't make it in time.
No further! Rip it! That's it! Slash! Swallow Blade! Take it! Double Demon Fang! Have this! Do it! Take! Blow them away!
Perhaps we ought to recuperate for a while.
I agree. Fighting in this state would be reckless.
Judging by the stench, I'd say the... The animals at the ranch are all grown? Now.
Is there a reason you're looking at me so intently?
Shion's kind of turned into the local fashion critic in our group.
So this is what lords like you wear. Certainly looks the part. I can tell at a glance what high quality everything is.
Dohalim, your spare bracers were getting dirty, so I polished them up along with the rest of your equipment.
Why, thank you, Kisara. I greatly appreciate that.
Maybe it's just my imagination, but you sure seem to fuss over Dohalim a whole lot, Kisara.
It is a little strange. Almost like you're still in his service.
Really? That's certainly not my intention. Besides, he's not the only one I'm like that with. Hey, Law, I saw your clothes were starting to get holes in them, so I stitched them back up for you.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Kisara.
Point taken. Do you just like looking after people?
I wouldn't go so far as to say I like it, but I get anxious if I don't. I'd always like to help if I can. It comes naturally to me. Back in the day, Miguel and I used to look after the younger kids a lot, so that's probably where it comes from. He taught me everything I know, and I mean everything. How to cook with wild plants, how to sew clothes so they'll last. Without him, we never would have been able to survive.
However, you're not a lord anymore, Dohalim. You need to get used to the idea that people aren't just going to wait on you hand and foot.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I'm ashamed to admit that I felt no qualms about her doing all that for me. As both a Renan and especially as a lord, one becomes too accustomed to those beneath you tending to your every need, both Renans and Danans alike.
Sure, that's how all you Renans are probably raised. But just to be clear, we're not your servants, Dohalim. Got that?
Absolutely. Moments such as this provide me with ample opportunity to confront my unease. It is difficult to tend with my own motivations.
What do you mean?
And the truth of the matter is that my espousal of coexistence in Menancia hardly came from an idealistic place. That instinctive unease I feel deep within serves as a reminder for what it is that all of us here fight for.
Don't be so hard on yourself. No one's going to abandon you if you aren't always perfect.
Looking at her now, I think she's more like his mom than his servant.
I came out great. Everyone's gonna be real surprised.
Hey, what's the smoke? Is it an enemy attack?
Seriously, it's making my eye...
It's probably gas?
Isn't this just cooking smoke?
What kind of food makes your throat burn so bad just from the smoke?
I believe...
They're trying to gas Alphen?
What? Those sick bastards!
Calm yourselves and listen. I was simply trying to say that Alphen is the one cooking.
Oh?
Maybe I should throw in some more spices, just for that extra kick. Yeah, that'll help. Think I'll turn up the heat while I'm at it, too. Oh, crap. The spices burned. Well, at least the meat's coming along nicely. All right. Now I just flip it over, and then...
Hey, Alphen? What are you doing over there?
Oh, Shion. Perfect timing. I actually just finished roasting up a chicken. Call everybody over so we can eat together. I used a ton of spices, so it's got a good punch to it. Might have overcooked it.
I'm starting to understand why your food always tastes so damn spicy now.
Hasn't anyone told him that it is actually possible to have too much of a good thing?
If that's the taste he truly wants, far be it from me to contradict. His cuisine is a rather delicate repast.
Kisara, let's talk for a bit. Maintaining your shield? It's becoming a familiar sight.
Miguel was the one who taught me how to maintain my equipment after I first joined the Guard. Now, it's just a part of my routine.
Your brother always seems to come up whenever I talk to you.
That's because we had no other relatives, so it was just the two of us growing up. He was my idol, the one I looked up to and wanted to be like. When I became a guardsman, Lagiel wasn't too pleased to see me at first. It was Miguel who really welcomed me aboard.
Lagiel? Oh, right. She was Miguel's second in the Gold Dust Cats, wasn't she?
That's right. She's always been a very critical and down-to-earth person. In other words, the complete opposite of a dreamer like me.
You're more an idealist than some pie-in-the-sky dreamer.
Even so, that's my brother's doing. He'd never let me stop seeing a brighter world. He always did what he could to keep me smiling and happy.
You must have meant a lot to him.
He wasn't just kind, either. He always worked so hard to set an example for me and everyone else around him. He was a true big brother. So much so that when he thought I was asleep, he'd slip out of the house to go training on the outskirts of town.
You seem to know a lot about it.
That's because I only pretended to be asleep and would follow after him. You know what? I'm at a good stopping point with my shield. If you've got time, how about I tell you a couple more Miguel stories?
I guess I'd better get comfortable.
See you tomorrow. Before we go, do you guys have everything?